Are you thinking about moving in Austin, Texas, but not sure whether to move north, south, east, west, stay in the middle? Well, today we're covering North Austin. I'm going to show you through the Google Maps tour all the hot spots. I'm going to show you where the shopping, dining, best places are, schools, how to get around, what you can expect when you're living there. So stick around and let's get started right away. Hi, I'm Nicole Cooper. My team and I get calls and emails from people just like you needing help figuring out where to live in Austin, Texas, and we absolutely love it. So whether you're looking to move today, tomorrow, or somewhere in between, give us a call, shoot us a text, or send us an email. We're always here to help you find the perfect home to match your lifestyle. Now let's get started on North Austin. What does that look like? I'm going to show you a map here, just the overall view, zoomed in and zoomed out so you can get an idea, and then we're going to dive into all the details, north, south, and all around in that little bubble. Let's go. All right, so we're gonna dive into the Google Maps and I'm gonna show you exactly what we're talking about in the part of town. So in our area that we're covering today, I wanna give you the names of the neighborhoods we're gonna be covering. So we have Brentwood, we have Allandale up here, we have Northwest Hills over here, Georgian Acres, and then North Austin. So those are the main neighborhoods that fall into this section of town. But once we cross over 360 to that direction, we're gonna hit Jester Heights and we're gonna be heading out towards 620. We're not counting that as part of North Austin today. Also, just northwest of this, we have the Great Hills community, and that would be where the nearest golf course is as well. So just to get your bearings here, this is downtown Austin right here. This is the Domain right here. This is Highway 183, I-35, and Loop 1, Mopac. So the area we're covering, we're gonna start here at about Highway 290, which is Koenig Lane or 2222 in town. We have a lot of different names for the same road in Austin. And we're gonna go out here to 360 and then up to about Breaker, which is right in here, and then down Highway I-35. So that's our main area for today. And for that whole area of town, the average closed price is around $865,000. Now there's something really interesting to note here. Again, I'm marking the Highway 183 that kind of cuts this section into two because the average sale prices or average closed prices on either side are completely different. On this north side up here, the average closed price is much lower at $415,000, and then the average closed price on this portion is much higher at $972,000. And let me show you one of the reasons for that. First of all, it is proximity to town, but second of all, these purple lines are the boundaries to the high school, and this boundary here brings everything into this Navarro Early College. And I'll show you the grades a little bit closer later, but they're running more like a grade of a C, whereas on this side, this one's running to Anderson and this one is running to McAllen down here, and those are running high B or low A grades for their kind of texasschools.gov ratings. Again, I'll show you the details later, but that's one of the main drivers that keeps these sections completely different as far as people wanting to live there and paying the premium. And when you're on this side of the school zone and this side, that's preferred over the lower grade Navarro Early College. So that's going to affect the home values and things. So we head back over to the map here, and the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to kind of show you where the best shopping is in this area. So you'll hear a lot about the Domain in Austin. All right, so the Domain is right here, and it is one of the nicest shopping centers in town. It has more of the upscale stores than we have in many of the other shopping malls in town. In fact, it is the most high-end. Perhaps the Galleria out in Bee Cave might be a good run for the money. But anyway, at the moment, this has the Nordstrom, it has the big department stores, it also has the restaurants all throughout. The Domain north side is kind of more the party area. It's called Rock Rose, and you're gonna have your restaurants, you're gonna have your pubs where you can sit outside and have drinks, a little bit of shopping and candy stores, and then it also has a lot of living up there. I'll just play this real quick. The apartments and condos are all throughout the Domain, so there's mixed use all over the entire place. And in addition, there's a Whole Foods back here, and you know how everybody loves to have their shopping, their grocery shopping right by where they live. So here's the Whole Foods right up here on the northern end of things. And Whole Foods are known for just their top-notch quality of all the vegetables and foods. They won't have anything in the store that hasn't gone through rigorous testing and passing high grades of excellence. So it's a good spot to have in the Domain. You can also eat in the store, but with all of the restaurants and cafes in the Domain, I don't know why you'd need to eat in the grocery store unless you're just running late. While we're up here in the Domain, I'm gonna go ahead and show you the Top Golf. Top Golf is one of those areas that you hit like it's a hitting bay. You're inside a building hitting out towards the outdoors. And so it's a full bar and restaurant in there, and it's a total hit for businesses and companies. There's a view from the other direction. You can see there's multi-levels in Top Golf, and it's a big draw out there at the Domain. What else is out at the Domain? It is Q2 Stadium. Our relatively new MLS soccer team has it's just come through Austin by storm. I even like soccer now. I never knew how to play before. I never knew the rules, but it is so much fun because they built this brand new state-of-the-art stadium. There's our logo right there. They're called the Verde, and you know, we had a game last week. We didn't win, but it's only the beginning of the season. We could always come around and make it to the playoffs like we did last year. In addition to these kind of restaurants and shopping and outdoor sports areas, North Austin has a lot of breweries. It's kind of this section. Let me show you where we are again. We're north of 183 in this pocket right here. This is very, very commercial in this area. So there are a lot of breweries. They took over the big industrial space back that someone had, and so they've turned these industrial spaces into really cool breweries that hang out right there by Q2 Stadium. So a lot of people go there before the game, hang out, and then actually walk over to the soccer game. Here's another one here, Austin Beer Works. Just super fun up in that north corner of town. This whole section right here, from the Domain over here to this shopping area, the Arboretum, and back around, it's very commercialized in the sense that anything you need for shopping, you can get there. So this part right here is called the Arboretum, and that has from movie theaters to restaurants to more shopping. The Cheesecake Factory has been there for decades. And there's a beautiful Porsche dealership right in the corner. They have their cars way up high displayed out on the rooftop and things. It's super pretty. The Renaissance Austin Hotel is kind of a mainstay. It's been a kind of a beautiful hotel that people get married there that's been around for years. Beautiful on the inside. So I even went to my best friend's wedding back in the 90s, I believe. And it was going in, and it's still going strong to this day. So that's pretty cool, something that can last that long. In this area on this side over here, we think Sam's, another Whole Foods, you've got Best Buy, you've got Nordstrom Rack. So you have clothes, food, utensils, Crate and Barrel, everything you need in this part of town. It's a shopping mecca. And then back at this backside back here, we do have Lexus dealerships. So the luxury part of town kind of hovers around that little northern sector right there once you get to the north area. In North Austin, you have a lot of diversity and cultural diversity in the neighborhoods. The tech part of town is considered North Austin and Northwest Austin. We have Apple, Samsung, Dell, IBM, the works, a lot of startups as well. So up on Highway 183 going out towards Cedar Park, there are a lot of tech companies, Apple being the biggest footprint out that direction. Dell would be more northeast, and then you have Samsung out all the way into Taylor. And of course, we can't forget about Tesla. That's over on the east side, over off the toll 130. But in general, everyone, when people speak about tech in Austin, they generally think about North Austin. And so because these tech companies bring in people all over the world, it adds to that cultural diversity. So you're gonna find Japanese, Korean, Chinese grocery stores that are super cool. So if you're looking for that special kind of rice to make your sushi, you can find it up there. There's also going to be some Indian restaurants, and there's still going to be Mexican restaurants. So it is really a cross-cultural fusion of everything. You're also going to find those wonderful fusion restaurants that you find a lot over in the east side as well. All right, this area over here in Northwest Hills, it covers this kind of northwest section of North Austin, and it's super hilly in Northwest Hills, as well as it's been there for a long time. So you're gonna see a lot of old trees, rolling terrain. You're gonna have some downtown views. So let's talk Crestview and Northwest Hills. What's the difference? Generally speaking, Northwest Hills over on this side is going to have much more hill country views. It's more rolling hills. You might even have some downtown views. Crestview is super cool also, but it's a little bit flatter on that side. So in general, you're gonna see a little bit higher price point in Northwest Hills than Crestview. Now the great thing about all of this North Austin part that doesn't happen in all of Austin is we do have public transportation. The train actually comes right through the middle of town here, and it goes through North Austin. So if you don't want to have a car, this would be your best bet to try to get around town without one. I mean, let's face it, Austin is a pretty car-centric city. We're spread out, so most everyone has to have a car to get to and from things. But this part of town does have an option to take the bus or the train into town or out of town to the north. The train goes up towards Cedar Park. Basically, the train comes one way in and one way out. This is a general guideline. We can look it up online and see better, but it comes in right about here. It comes by Q2 Stadium, comes down and then ends in Central Austin and then goes back. That's it. So we need a little bit in our way of public transportation here in Austin, but it does split North Austin right in two. So if you wanted to use that train, you would have the opportunity living there. All right, I'm going to show you the theaters that are in the middle of this area. So keep in mind our boundary down here is Koenig Lane, and we are going to start here over on Anderson. There's a whole shopping center and restaurants and all this over here. It's kind of held down by the Alamo Drafthouse. Alamo Drafthouse is one of those theaters where you get the food and drink brought to your chair in the movie. It started here in Austin, and it is one of the most fun places to catch a film. And then up here back in the domain that we were earlier, we have the iPic theaters. Now the iPic, a little bit newer, a little bit fancier. So you can start out in front at the bar, and they have games and pool and all that stuff. Here's a picture. That's better than me trying to describe it all. But once you go in, the chairs are super nice. They're super comfortable. They lean back, and they even give you a blanket. So iPic is in the domain, and the Alamo Drafthouse is in other locations around town. In addition to the Alamo Drafthouse over here on Anderson Lane, this is kind of the center of the area we're talking about today. One of my favorite restaurants is Bartlett's. Think steakhouse, good wine, good pork chops. Look at that. So anyway, you get the idea. I don't want to make you too hungry right now. And then down the way over here, we have Jack Allen's, and that is another one of my favorites. They have really good kind of American food. Look at that little gravy there. They have one of the best brunches around. They have all the food out, and it's just a huge buffet, so you just go around and eat until you hurt. Anyway, that's Jack Allen's. That's just a few kind of right in the center of what would be the north section of town. And then we cannot forget about the Ramen Tatsuya. Again, we have a lot of Asian restaurants up on the north side of town, and Ramen Tatsuya, you will find a line out this door at mealtime every single day. It is super popular, and you know, if you're into ramen like I am, you may want to give that one a try. All right, again, here are our boundaries of what we're looking at today. And I want to tell you the closest golf is going to be over here at Great Hills. It's a private golf community, and as of this week, their membership is full. So you have to go on the waiting list from here forward. It is an 18-hole course. They have all the amenities, dining room, big fitness center, swimming pool, tennis courts, things like that. But this hole right here is hole number 18, and we used to play this in college. This was our home course when I was playing at the University of Texas. And this course is all, or this hole is all uphill. It's a par 5, and it nearly killed me walking up that hill with my bag on the back when I was in my early 20s trying to qualify for the next tournament. In fact, the golf carts out there are gas powered because it is such a hilly golf course. You can walk the front 9 pretty easily, but the back 9 you're going to want to have a golf cart. So keep that in mind if you're thinking about joining Great Hills. And they only just recently, as in this week, filled up, so there will be opportunity to get in. Right now the initiation fee is $50,000, but they are saying they're going to have some remodeling of the golf club and the golf course. Not the club, they remodeled the pro shop and the clubhouse recently in the dining room. It's gorgeous. But they're going to actually remodel some of the golf course. And when they come back online after that, it will likely be more expensive, probably more in the $75,000 range. So you might, if you want to be a member of that golf community, you might want to get on the waiting list now while it's 50 instead of 70. Oh, look who came to help today. You never know who's going to help you make these videos. Bimini wanted to help, so I hope you don't mind. All right, I promised you we would go into detail about the schools, and of the 3 that are in there, we have McAllen, Anderson, and Navarro. And good news on Navarro, the grades have gone up since the last time I have reported on this high school. It was a C last time, now they're in the B level. So if we look here versus on texasschools.gov, they've come up to an 83 out of 100, which is good news that they're improving. Their total student enrollment is 1,096 students, and they have about 14.3 students per teacher. Now, if you jump over here to Anderson High, that's the northwest corner, they get a 90 out of 100. They have 2,229 students total enrollment, and they have about 17.5 students per teacher. And then lastly, we're going to have McAllen, which is kind of central Austin, which would be the southern portion of this northern part of town. They get 93 out of 100. Total enrollment of 1,816 students, and that's about 17 students per teacher. So you can see how the grades of the schools, if someone has a family with kids in high school or kids in school, the values of the homes will be affected. People will pay more to live in those areas where they feed into the school districts or the high schools that get more of an A or a higher grade on their scores for government testing. If you don't have kids, then you don't have to worry about these grades. You can get more house for your money if you go on the other side of 183 and into that Navarro High School district and get a bigger house. So North Austin, cultural diversity, shopping galore. You've got theaters, entertainment, you've got the Domain, the Arboretum, Anderson Lane. You can find anything on the north side of town as far as shopping goes. You've got all the fusion restaurants, and you have public transportation that actually goes through the middle of it. Does this look like a town that, or part of town that you'd like to see more of? Give me a call, shoot us a text, or send us an email. We're always available to help you find the perfect home that matches your lifestyle. I hope to see you around town.